I've got a problem. I'm going to go ahead and put on the board so we can go ahead and see if I can pull it up. All right, copy down this problem. I tried to find one, didn't have a lot of big numbers in it, but there wasn't any in the book. Now, I want you to find everything that you can find pertaining to the frequency distribution on the board. That means class width, means lowercase, upper class limits, lower class limits, midpoints. Midpoints you're going to find if you find the mean and the standard deviation, so I'm not worried about the midpoints. Relative frequency, and maybe draw a normal distribution using the mean and the standard deviation. In other words, everything I taught you pertaining to a frequency distribution. Give you about 3 minutes to get started on it, and then I'll start putting some stuff up there so you can check your work as you go along. Not feeling it today, so y'all just have to bear with me being in a less than happy mood today, okay? I'm going to lock this screen. Now for Miss McElhannon and Miss Smith, go ahead and copy down the chart because it's not going to lock. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the spreadsheet so I can put everything on the board at one time. So if y'all could, go ahead and copy it down right quick, Miss Smith and Miss McElhannon. No, you don't find the mean, median, right? You don't find all that with a frequency distribution. You find define the upper class limits and the lower class limits. You should be able to do that by just looking at it. You don't have to write them down. You just need to write an arrow and say this is the upper class limits and this is the lower class limits. You need to put the class width. You need to see CW is equal to blank. You need to define N. You need to define the relative frequencies, and then do the mean and the standard deviation. So frequency distribution is mainly looking at stuff and then finding the mean and the standard deviation. I'm going to do all of that, so that way I can kill 2 questions with one problem. The first type question you'll see about a frequency distribution is define the lower class limits, the upper class limits, the class width, and the midpoint. And then the relative frequency. That's one type question you might get. The other type question you may get is find the mean and the standard deviation. Ms. Smith and Ms. McElhannon, do you have it copied?
Yeah.
That's one. Ms. McElhannon, do you have it? Okay, her microphone isn't working. Do you have it? Just shake your head. Okay, she has it. All right. Okay, so I'm going to freeze it for y'all, and I'm going to put it on the spreadsheet for those that just walked in. And while y'all are writing it down and working on it, I'm going to put it in the spreadsheet. Okay, I've got it in the Excel spreadsheet now. Hopefully y'all can see it. Yep. And just the little easy things. This is the lower class limit. This is the upper class limit. And this is what we call F. So that's the first thing you need to do when you're given a frequency distribution, is define those three things. N is always equal to the summation of F. And like I said, these are things that I went over the first day when we went over this stuff. Okay? So how many people are in this classroom? 6,427 people. And we'll say that those are ages, maybe. Okay? This may be a factory, Bosch. It may be a precinct. It may be anything. I mean, it could be, it's got 6,000 people in it, almost 6,500 people in it. Okay, so the next thing you need to define is class width. So I'm just going to put down here the class width, and it's very easy. You just take one of the lower class limits and subtract the other. So what's 20 minus 15? What's 25 minus 20? What's 34 minus 29? So the class width is now the midpoints, we're going to kill two birds with one stone. The midpoint is the average of the upper class limit and lower class limit added together. And you can put them as separate, and the easiest way to do it is put X and then do the first one, equals for parentheses, 15 plus 19 divided by what? Divided by 2. Now, do you have to calculate each one, or can you just add the class limit? I meant the class width. You can just add the class width. So I'm just going to take equals this, which is D3, and I'm going to add this number right here, and I'm going to hit F4. That's just Excel stuff. And there is your X values. Now, I'm going to highlight F, and I'm going to highlight X. Why? Because that's what you use for what? Your what? Well, you use it in your formula. And that's, and I'm in a bitchy mood today, okay? I'll go ahead and tell you that right now. But I get so, my 103 students do this, my 120 students, no matter if I teach it 3 years ago or tomorrow, I'll get students to come up to me and they'll say, well, what do I do with F type? What do I do with F and X? I don't know. Read the formula. Okay, that was a little bit too much. Read the formula. All right? Read the formula. I'm going to put the formula up here again. I put it up here several times. All right? We'll do it again. Y'all know I have 2 or 3 pet peeves. What are one of them? I don't like to repeat myself. Okay, so this is one of those things. All right, the mean of a frequency distribution is equal to the summation of F times X over the summation of F. Now you could easily write that also as the summation of F times X over N. Either one of those is fine. So that means that you've got to take F and X and you've got to do what? Read the formula. The formula will tell you what to do. Standard deviation, well, variance. Variance is equal to, and it's a long, drawn-out thing, N times the summation of F times X squared. And I'm going to put brackets. Minus F times X quantity squared, summation, which you already have that right here, or you squared, I'm sorry, over N times what? N minus 1. The second thing I get aggravated about as a teacher is I tell y'all to read the formula and you don't do it. And then after you don't read the formula, you come to me and say, I don't understand where you got the 19 times 18. Why do you not understand where you got the 19 times 18? Because you're not reading the what? You're not reading the formula. The formula is like a direction guide. And then, of course, with standard deviation, the variance is really useless. The only reason we need the variance is so you can take the square root of it. And the standard deviation is the square root of the variance. Okay, now I want everybody to write this down again. You just won't believe how many people email me and say, where did you get this? And where did you get that? I just pulled it out of the air. All right, so we need a column right here. Well, I tell you what, let's go through and let's take the handy dandy highlighter. And we're going to do yellow. Yellow is F. And we're going to go through, we're going to go, here's F, there's F, there's F, there's F, there's F. Okay, so all those F's are there. And then we're going to take another highlighter and we're going to color it green. If it'll let me. Or X, I'm sorry. And there's an X. There's an X. There's an X. There's an X. And then I'm going to take the blue highlighter. Actually, it's kind of a violet, but I don't have a violet. No, I don't. And there's N. There's N. There's N. And there's N. So why am I doing all this? Because in those three highlighted areas, you've got everything you need to do it. The only thing is, you have to organize it and do it like the formula tells you to do it. So, I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to make a column right here called F times X. Why? Because your formulas need F times what?
X.
Yep. And I'm not trying to be a SA. I'm trying not to be a SA. I'm just bad day compared with emails that make me repeat myself constitutes or equals a witchy teacher. Okay? And I don't care what subject you go into or what subject you are taking, anytime a teacher has to repeat themselves several times, especially if it's something simple like a formula, they get irritated. When did you get here? You didn't walk in on time. Okay. So equals, I'm going to take this number and I'm going to multiply it by this number. And you're going to copy that down. And those numbers. Now I'm going to copy this and I'm going to call this, we're going to make that a orange color. Now if you're not from LA, you don't know what orange is, but it's that color that those fruits from Florida, that's that color, orange. So you could take a highlighter with the orange color, and now you have this. You have this, if you're using that formula. You have this right there. Now, notice I did not highlight the summation because we haven't done the summation yet. So down here, I'm going to summate, and that way I'll have this numerator, and this part over here. So I'm going to take my handy dandy cursor and I'm going to sum the orange area. And I'm going to color that orange. And now you have, turn my highlighter orange again, now you have this. All right, now look at the green right here. We don't have F times X squared, so we have to get an X squared. Now, to make things nice, I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to put an X squared here, so we can put F times X squared here. So hopefully it'll flow in your notes better, and on this Excel spreadsheet, it will flow better. So I'm going to take my handy dandy cursor, and I'm going to put X. Okay, what the heck? I'm going to put x squared right here. And I'm going to color it. I'm going to color this whole column. We're going to color it a different color. Huh? I'm going to do that. How about that? That way y'all can complain that you can't see it. How about that? That's the first thing you're going, I can't see it. All right, so I'm going to take, now, what is the only thing that students have to be careful with when you're doing these columns? You don't pick the wrong column. Okay, x squared, so don't pick 100 and square it. You pick that one and square it. Or you mess it up, one of the two, so you have to start over. Just hold on and I'll get out of everything. There we go. Let's go with equals. Let's try it again. This number squared. There we go. And copy that down. So now you have, and I'll take my handy dandy, don't know if I can use that, but I can go over here and get a highlighter. I'm going to use, I guess I'll have to use this pink, but it's more of a mauve. And we will highlight this right here. I just found x squared. There it is. And now I got to take f times x squared. So I go over here and add another column. And this is my last column I have to add. F times x squared. I'm sorry, what? Yep. So you might want to make it a little bit wider column. And that's going to be equal to F times, be careful on what columns you pick, especially if you're working with Excel, x squared. Copy that down. And now you have this summation.
Okay, so when you have F times x squared, it's not the column from the left of x squared.
No. That is, look at the colors. That's this right here. We're going to square that number. See that square right there? We haven't colored that square yet. That means we hadn't done it yet. Okay, so let me color. We're going to color this a different color. I don't want to color it that brown because that won't look good. But we'll go with this dark blue. That way you can complain about it. So here is the dark blue. We just did this right here. Okay, that is that color right there. Which is all of this right here, which we can go and change that whole column. There. Okay. All right, so now we're ready to plug everything in. We've got everything we need. All we got to do is plug it in. Now, to plug it in, I'm going to go down here and I'm going to try to squeeze it in one here, but I'm going to have to go down. So I'm plugging it in. Let me get rid of this. Let me do this, and get rid of this. All right, now I'm at this point right here. Well, I got to do this, the mean. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to put mean is equal to, now it's pretty simple. The orange, which is right here, so equals the orange divided by the what? The light blue. See that? Orange, and then we colored that as light blue. I forgot to color it light blue. Oh, there it is right there. That's light blue. And that's equal to that number. So what's our average age of people? 32. That means at the number 32, there's no variation in the group. That's the number that represents no variation.
So that was the 2407 divided by 64.
This orange divided by the light blue. N is right here. That's N and this is N. That's why I got it written twice. Okay, does anybody have a problem with the mean? Now, if you remember, go back in your notes. We went over this the same way. Now I'm going to do what? I'm going to do the variance. So I'm going to go to this one. And I'm going to read my formula, and I'm going to plug it in. So I'm going to take my handy-dandy cursor, and I'm going to have to go down here. I'm sorry, but variance is equal to N, which is light blue, so that's going to be that number, times the purple, which is that number, minus the orange, and what do we have to do to that orange? Right over here. What does that say we have to do to the orange? We have to square it. Now I want everybody to take your crayons out or your highlighters, and I want you to color these, because there's some kind of breakdown between me doing it the first time and doing it the way that I'm showing you, and y'all going home, and I think y'all go, well, let's see, I just want to screw this up somehow. I believe y'all do. How can I make this difficult? That's what y'all do, and y'all find a way to make it difficult.
You know why it's so hard to do formula?
Why?
Because in every math class I've ever had in my entire life, when you have two things beside each other, that means multiplying together.
Yeah. And I'll tell you something else that people forget.
Sum of what?
Yeah.
If it said S of instead of X beside, I wouldn't assume that I was supposed to have some magic number to multiply.
Let me tell you another thing that students mess up. They think this N is multiplied by this whole thing. That's another mistake people make.
And then every other problem N was how many numbers we had in the column, not the
Yeah.
total.
So it's multiplied only by
The purple. So I'm going to take this color. I'm going to color this light blue. Did y'all say aqua? There we go. We'll change this to aqua. There we go. And I want to take a minute and put highlight. I guess I'll have to change these to that. Okay, there we go. All right, so that's N, and then orange. Y'all know how to spell orange, don't you?
Yes.
E-R, or U-R. You can use either one. Okay, so there's orange. So I'm going to take that right there. Oops, take that right there, color that. Minus, this is the, nobody, I missed that. Purple. The purple, that's supposed to be purple. Purple. Actually, it's blue. There we go. There we go. That's that color right there. I gotta take that off. If I erase it, let's see if I can erase it. Let me change that to blue. Oops. I do this to help y'all out. Right there. All right. Minus orange squared over I changed that to orange. How did I do that? Well, Yep. That's supposed to be Daniel Aqua. Aqua. And I'm not going to color this because you have to take the aqua and divide by what? Or subtract what? 1. All right, so this is your variance formula. So this is what you should be putting in your calculator. Okay, now I'm going to go down. I'm going to put variance again. I'm going to take the blue numbers and multiply them together. It says 4.0 times 10 to the times 10 to the 10th power. Just chill. You'll be all right. Minus this number. What? Weird. Now what's the check here? You got to make sure that this number is bigger than this number. We'll just count how many digits are here, and you'll see that it's pretty much less than this number. If not, the next line will give you a negative, and you can't have a negative. So the next thing is equal to this times this. And this line right here is when you're going to see if you're going to get a negative or not. Variance is equal to this number minus this number divided by this number. And the variance is equal to this number divided by this number. You know you're hungry when you have a dream about a Mexican restaurant. I had a dream about a Mexican restaurant last night. Don't ask me where that came from. When you're in a bad mood, you have the right to chase rabbits. So I had a dream that I was in a Mexican restaurant last night. I can't remember which one it was. But anyway, variance equals 32. So standard deviation is equal to that number raised to the what? 0.5 power, which is the square root. And there's your standard deviation. Now, I'm going to pull this back up right here, and I want everybody to look, and just look what I did. I mean, I wish I could, let's see if I can, let's see if I can put this up. All right, look at the formulas. I mean, I'm not talking about the mean, right here. And I did exactly right here what the formula says do. Minus this squared over n times n minus 1. And of course, let me reiterate, there's nothing wrong with asking like the question she asked or the comment about when to multiply. That's not a problem. The problem I have is when students just want me to tell them what to do. That's when I get irritated.
Now that I understand how to read these books.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not talking about this class. I'm talking about, remember, I got another 122. Remember? I got 2 120s. All right? So don't just email me or come up to me and say, how do I do this? That's irritating to a teacher. Okay? And I don't think anybody in here has done that, but other people have. Okay? Especially on bad days. It's not a good thing. I don't usually have bad days, but I have today. All right. Who's got questions? Now, what do you do with the mean and the frequency distribution of the mean and the standard deviation of a frequency distribution? What do you do with the mean and standard deviation of any data table or any frequency distribution? You put it in right here. And so you can get empirical rule drawing. Our mean is equal to that number. this plus the standard deviation, F4, and I'm just going to carry it to 3. That's 1, 2, 3. And then over here equals this minus the standard deviation, F4, and I'm going to go this way. And now, if asked, you can take your handy-dandy marker, virtual marker, and you can draw the empirical rule. In the middle is right here. And in a perfect world, you're talking about 95% of the population being normal, and 95% of the population is going to fall between 2 standard deviations. Now these are longer over here because my boxes were bigger. There's 95% of the population is going to fall in the normal area. 2 standard deviations. And take our handy dandy red pencil and mark our outliers. Our 6-foot third graders. And our 2100 SATers. What's the highest score you put on SAT? 1800. They got 2100. Impossible, but just think about it. 1801, so about that. And then the unusuals. The unusuals, we'll color them blue. The unusuals are right here. So if I go into a classroom and there's a class, there's a student in there that's 13 years old, I know that's exceptional. That is an outlier. If I go in there and there is a 50-year-old student, now that's based on this frequency. What did it say? I don't know what it said it was, but you can look at it again if you want to. Hold on, let me pull it up. Well, I lost it. No, it's on the whiteboard. Where's the whiteboard? Oh, I'm really not feeling it today, people. There it is. National Vital Statistics Reports. This could be anything in the world. I have no idea what it is. But whatever what did that say up top? Okay, that's what these are. Is it ages or just multiple births, period? Okay. So go back there. Age. Okay, these must be people that have babies. The age of the mama, would you say?
Sure.
That'd have to be, because it wouldn't be any. Who cares if the dad don't have anything to do with it, really. So, I mean, he does, but he don't. I think the mother would be the one that would be counted as aged. Okay? So, what is the average age for a mother having multiple births? We found out that was 32. Okay? So, if you had a woman, 13 years old, we won't talk about that. And we surely won't talk about the 50-year-old either. So let's just not talk about those, all right? Let's just talk about the middle. How about that? As I said in my transparency, if you're between the ages of 20 to 43, then you might have a multiple birth. That's very high. Or that means that would be normal. If you're between 15 and 20, that would be unusual. And the other end would be unusual too. That's what you need to be able to do with a frequency distribution. Now, what about, I forgot to do Relative frequency. Well, that's not a big deal. I'll go back to the spreadsheet. We'll go up here, and I'll do the relative frequency right here. Relative frequency equals this number, which is F, divided by what? N. So write that down. F divided by N. And F4, because I want every single one of them, so you copy that down. Now when you add them up, what should it equal? 1 or 100, yes. So I'm going to add it up. And there is your relative frequencies. Now, what if they want it as a percent? Well, then you just move the decimal what? Over 2 places. You just go over here, or you hit the handy-dandy percent sign. And then this turns to percent, 100%. So there's your relative frequency. They can ask you to put it in decimal form. They can ask you to put it in percentage form. And that's it. That's all you have to do with a frequency distribution. Capisce? Comprende? Anybody have any questions on that now? Yeah, how you find the average? I don't know. I have no earthly idea.
So once we get the name, I think I asked this last time. Once we get the name, that's only used when we do our.
That's pretty much what that's used for.
Yeah. Man, I keep trying to put it before me or something.
Yeah. Now, in chapter 5 and 6, you will, but not in this chapter. No, it's straight. It's just that my boxes were bigger on the right-hand side. If I close them, then I'm going to close up all this up here. That's why I'm not closing them. Yeah, this is a normal distribution. Okay. Now you can also look at your data and tell me if this data is normal. The yellow box, is it normally distributed? Well, just look sideways. Is it? Pretty much. I mean, it's got a bell shape to it. See it? It goes up in the middle and then it goes really down here. But you can see right here is your hump. Right there. So I think it's a little bit higher here. You see I went below the line here. It's a little bit lower here than here. So, but you could say it has a normal distribution too, as far as the data goes. You just have to turn it on the side like this and look at it.
Okay, so roll over here.
Huh? What? No, I'm not answering the questions, Dave.
Okay, so like this table right here is zero, right? That's what we need to say. So we want to look at it, this should be off, right?
Yeah, that would be skewed left. Oh, right. Because of the hump.
Unless I says we're going off and you're doing relative frequency, did you know that?
What's that?
The relative frequency?
Right there. It's only asked. I don't use it for anything. I don't use it. It might be on a test, a part of a question, but I don't use it. I know it's in your homework. Yeah. Now what we can do is look at the test here in a second and see if I got the one I'm going to do on there or not. That's what I was going to do for Z-scores anyway, is just go over the test. Question. All right, so let's pull up the test. And if you look on your, I've already assigned the test. Oh my gosh, well, how are you going to find out when the test is? I don't know. I'll probably just let you guess. It'll be Sunday, January 1st. You know, I'm going to show you a little trick. If you ever need to find when a test is due, you know what you can do? You can go into My Labs Plus, and I'll show you this trick. You won't believe it. They actually tell you when the test is due. It's a miracle.
Well, how do you log in?
Don't you mean how do you register?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. They didn't tell us that. They just told me to You get your access code and you do it. I have no idea. All right. So when you click on math, this is y'all's class, and the online does this too. When you click on that class, there'll be a calendar, and it comes up over here. Look over there. It's got a box there. The test is available today. But when does it stop? Oh, wait a minute. There's something. What does that say? Wow. It says Hubert's test is due on the 16th. But when's the homework due? Well, there's another little thing over here. Look at there. Am I being a smart aleck? Yeah. I'm going to tell you right now I'm being a smart aleck. You'd be surprised on how many students will come up to me next week. And you know what they'll ask me? When's the test due? And what will I say? Nothing. Sunday, January 3rd. Stop. I ain't finished. Hey, I got some more for you. Okay? Look at there. It says you just click on it, and you don't even have to mash anything. All you have to do is take your mouse, and y'all know what the word hover is, right? You just put it right there. Look at that. Tells you everything. It says due right there. On that day, which is the 12th. Now,
it's a miracle.
I know. Isn't it something how technology can just tell you this stuff? And my homework and tests are always due at midnight. But how do you know that? Well, when you hit homework, look there. Mr. Ellis, look there.
I'm so blown away. I don't know if I can take this in.
And I bet you $1 it does it on tests too. And not only does it give you the due date and the time, it tells you how much time you have. That's the next question I get next week. There'll be somebody come in here next week, and they'll come in that door and they'll sit down beside y'all, somewhere beside y'all. And they'll come up to me after class and they'll say, how much time do we have to take the test? I have no idea. And it tells you what? Yeah.
I thought we had to do like a frequency distribution of our textbook.
You can if you want to. And I'm going to click on it now, and let me ask, what do you think it's going to do? Go right into the test? No. It's going to tell you again. Now, this ain't me, okay? This is the MyLabs Plus saying students are stupid. Okay? They're giving it to you again.
Are you sure you're sure?
Yeah. And then they say, are you ready to take the test? Now, why would they ask you this? Because some students take a test when there's a lightning storm outside. Some students take a test when their dog is running around, their cat's running around, the kids are throwing footballs and basketballs in the house and hitting the computer and, oh yeah, I need to take a test right now.
Hey, I've got an even dumber time than you take a test.
When?
Like maybe 3:30 on Friday after you get off work. That's even stupider time, right?
Yeah, because your mind is like on 15 different things.
They're like, oh no, we're doing maintenance.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. When does MyLab Plus have maintenance? They have maintenance during the day, not at night when everybody's asleep.
Friday afternoon.
Yeah, Friday afternoon.
Pearson is doing an update Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, on the weekend. What time?
You know, I think MyLabs Plus is.
Yeah, it's like.
It's Blackboard that's stupid. MyLabs Plus is good.
That's why I don't use Blackboard.
Blackboard is one that does it on Friday afternoon.
Yeah, Friday afternoon. That's the best time to do it. That's when people don't do homework, is on the weekend.
It's like 2 to 4.
So after you hit start test, it'll say, are you sure you want to start the test? Yes. So it starts. Well, what does that? No, I don't want to do that. I don't know what I hit. Start test. There we go. And here's your first question. All right, do it. You want to take a minute to do it. It's asking for the mean and standard deviation. See how short it is? And it gives you the opportunity to put it in the Excel spreadsheet. All you have to do is click on that. Open, and it pulls it up in the Excel spreadsheet right there. So I'm going to let you copy them while I make them bigger for everybody. There you go. Now I am going to make a change. I'm going to insert a column here. Anybody have any idea what I'm going to do? I'm going to break up this because I can't calculate this. The spreadsheet can't calculate 25 to 34. I have to break it up into 25 and then put a 34 right here. Now, if you're an Excel person, you know why. So don't worry about it if you're not an Excel person. Just like you can't plug in your calculator 25 to 34 and get a midpoint. You have to type in 25 and then you have to type in 34 separately. That's why I'm making an extra column. You're used to that because that's the way I did the other problems. These chairs make weird noises. Now, what do we need? Tell me what we need.
Value.
Valium. Opioids. We need N. Did you listen to class? Golly. You know what I need to do? I need to just shut up, Don. I'm just being a very smart aleck person today. I'm glad I didn't pass that on to my daughter. All right. What did she say?
That was rude.
Rude. I wish I could say it like Bob quickly. Rude. Rude. And what else do we need? Good. So we put X right here. And I'm going to go ahead and do the first one for you. Equals, parentheses, this, plus this. Well, that means that you are a failure or loser. Both of them are the same. There you go. Now, do you notice that I'm not putting everything in the center and I'm not worried about what it looks like? Why? Because I'm taking a test.
Right.
I'm not worried about that.
You're not going to highlight them?
No. I know. Y'all can't do it now, right?
I knew you'd hang us out the door.
Yeah, it's all Russia's fault.
We're finding that out today, huh?
Yeah.
Oh my, what a waste.
You should see my Facebook page. Y'all, I hate to say this, but there's a lot of y'all in class that I get a bad feeling about. So we're going to persecute you because I really think you might lie. So we're going to impeach you based on my feelings.
Just because you might.
Just because I feel like you might lie. That first Democrat, he said, "That's very interesting that you would say that about our president." There's a lot of people that might say that about the president, but that's not admissible in court.
It's just his opinion.
Yeah. The Democrats look really bad today.
And these are the people that are wanting to grill him were Hillary supporters. Mm-hmm. That's unbelievable. You're concerned about lying.
Yeah.
And that woman got up there and just...
That woman makes Richard Nixon look like a saint.
Hey, let's start off her investigation. I can't be there. I got a concussion.
Oh, she can't remember.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you just started off with this. Anyway.
You know what I've learned in politics? That if you ever get in court, what's the best thing for you to say? I can't remember. All right, now what are we going to put here? We've got x squared. So what's this column going to be called? F times x. And what's the next column going to be called? I'm just amazed. Yep. In fact, you got a smile on my face. The whole class put a smile on my face
People start
today.
talking about Hillary.
Yeah. You start bashing Hillary, you all might get an 8. No, I'm just kidding. Heck, even the Democrats bash Hillary. That's what's bad. It's when your own party bashes you. Even Rubio was killing Comey today. Rubio was like, did you ever, during the 9 meetings that you had with Mr. Trump, did you ever say this is inappropriate or that you didn't feel like you didn't feel comfortable? No. Why not? I guess I'm just not a strong enough person. You're 6'8", you are the director of the FBI, and you don't feel like you're a strong enough person? No, he said that wholeheartedly. He believed that he was not a strong enough person to say that. The guy is 6'8". He has to duck to come through a door. Anyway, I'm going to shut up. F times X. Oh, I didn't get F, did I? Yeah, I did. Okay. That's a BA number, isn't it? Yeah, a couple of billion. F times X. And I'm going to take F and I'm going to lock it. Now check my numbers.
You're going to lock it. How do you do that?
F4 locks that number right there.
Man, I was pulling it the other day. Had some trouble.
F4. Foxtrot 4.
Did you do C2 times?
I'll check it. Hold on. F. F. That F is okay. I'm sorry. That's F. I can't change it. Okay, I might as well just quit. Hold on. F there. And then F times X. There we go. That would be equal to this times
How about it?
and then F times X squared. And we're going to need those summations.
You could probably do the F's in my place.
You pretty much can do these pretty simple on the Excel spreadsheet. N is equal to that. And then what is the mean? Mean is equal to what numbers? The summation of F times X divided by what? There you go. And then the variance is equal to N times the summation of what? F times X squared minus, I'm skipping some steps, this quantity what? Squared over N is this, and N minus 1 is equal to this minus 1. Variance equal to this minus this divided by this times this. Variance is equal to this divided by this. Standard deviation is equal to this raised to the 0.5 power.
You can't do square root.
Well, you can. You hit SQ. It's SQRT.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh. And that'd be what? 100.5 or something? I'm sorry, 10.5? 10.1.
If I can get to the variance, I can figure out the.
You think so?
I hope so.
All right, so the mean is 44. What does it say round to on the question? Let's go back to the test. And it says 2 decimal places. So go back here and somebody write down mean is 44.76. Write that down. And 10.13. 44.76. 10 point what? And move on. Next question. How is homework, test, and exam weighed? What is the second most picked question? Answer.
D.
B, as in Bravo. And what's wrong with Bravo? Doesn't equal 100.
What?
2 or 3 of y'all will miss this question. If you miss this question, you do not tell anybody. That's your first gimme question. There's about 10 on here, so that's 40 points. I'll have students make a 27 on this test.
I have a question. If you start the test, can you save your answer to the so you have to finish it all right.
Determine whether the variable is qualitative or quantitative. Qualitative, because it's not asking for numbers. So you have to say qualitative. So that would make it either B or, no coffee, D. Okay, I would say D. Next question. Classify the variables as qualitative or quantitative. The numbers on the shirt of a boys' football team. They're not measurable numbers. So I would say qualitative.
Yes, not the number of shirts.
What is Hubert's email address and cell number?
Definitely Mickey
I'm a loser.
I will take A, okay?
That's the only option it gives me on mine.
Somebody will go home and pull that up. Somebody will go home. Yeah, somebody will. Does Hubert replace, that's your second giving. This is your third. Does Hubert replace your lowest test score with a final exam grade? Water is a good answer. Okay, you do this one. A certain standardized test scores have a bell-shaped curve, blah, blah, blah. What type question is this? Z-score or empirical rule? Empirical rule. Do it. Draw a picture. Thank you. Okay, while you're pulling this up, write down the question, and then do your drawing, and I'll pull up that. You want to pull up that spreadsheet, Ms. Roberts? The one I just did?
Yeah, I just,
Okay.
I did my maiden, so I'm sure I had to do something wrong.
Hold on a second. Let me fix this where everybody can see. Hopefully I can pull this up. There we go. All right, what do you need? Do you need the summations? Look at the summations and see if you got the summations.
That's what I got.
Okay. Well, then I'll go up here and check your numbers. Let me pull it up a little bit more.
You have the calculations. That's all right. I just didn't.
Don't put that
There's a
on.
lot of zeros. Yeah.
It's my fault.
Yeah, so
Yeah, it's my fault. I shouldn't have gave y'all that problem.
At least we're in agreement.
You can take it off.
We'll let you redeem yourself. Here's your chance.
All right, there. Check your numbers. Do you see? Did you get your right numbers? Okay.
just added the total. That was 2,000.
Okay. Well, that happens, okay? All right, let's take our handy dandy virtual pencil. 515. Somebody give me the 2 to the right.
629, 743.
743. 2 to the left.
401, 287.
Now I'm going to put my empirical rule numbers up here for you. 34, 34, 13.5, 2.35, and 0.0 or 0.15. 0.15, sorry. And 0.15 here, and 2.35, and 13.5. All right, now you're ready for questions 1 through A through C. What percentage of standardized test scores is between 401 and 629?
68.
What percentage of standardized test scores less than 401? 16%. And what percentage of standardized test scores greater than 743? 2.5. So there is your answer. And you feel good about yourself, so you don't have to put too much makeup on and look like a orange face and a white neck.
That has been my struggle in life.
Guys, orange face, white neck, run fast as you can. So she will take a baseball bat to your car. 2.5. Because if they're crazy enough to paint their face orange with that much makeup, they're crazy. What? What?
Twins on.
Oh, God. Well, there are some nuts out there like that name their children Clemson and have a basement devoted to Clemson football. Those people need something to do.
I noticed the people that are the most fanatical, like, didn't go to school or anything. Like,
Yeah.
That's some people that it's like. Oh,
that's the ones that are
like,
craziest. One, where'd you go to college? Oh, I didn't go to college.
I mean, but they're like tattooed tiger paw on their back. You know?
Got a tattoo of a tiger paw on their face.
They got
Dabo's name their children Clemson and Dabo. And have paint their car orange. So you went to Clemson? No, I just graduated from Westside.
I just like them.
No, they're from Georgia.
Yeah, or they're from Georgia.
D.
Okay, you ready?
Marine Navy.
Yeah. If you get this one wrong, I would prefer you choose Boy Scouts or Navy. Okay.
Just remember Paris Island.
All right. Yeah. Remember Paris Island.
Yeah.
All right. Next one. Where's all of Hubert's homework done?
I do mine in
The
the
kitchen. Yeah.
Now, is that where you do the homework? Or
Yeah.
Is that, like.
Now, how many questions is this? How many gimmies are these? 4. How many questions are on the test? There's 20, so they're 5 points apiece. So right now you're at 20 points. And people will make a 6 on this test. There's still more.
That's happened before?
Every semester. And these people procreate. In My Labs Plus, a complete. Oh, this one is the one that people get wrong. This is the question, and people say, well, why didn't you put that on a test? I have people at the end of the semester that will come to my office and they will ask me, how do I know my grade? And everything is on. Now, I would make exception if I gave y'all in-class test and in-class assignments. But where's all my work done? On My Labs Plus. So, where's all your grades kept?
In the kitchen.
In the kitchen. Yep. Coconut. Okay, there we go. Here's your data set. Do the data set. Oh,
Those
man.
are easy.
This is test grade, so you should be able to knock this out in a few minutes. Why are you pulling in those things?
Yeah, I left all my stuff.
That's
I was
not
on a
my.
job.
That's not my survey.
No. No, I ended up, of course, taking all that off.
I might have to give y'all a call to do that other survey that somebody called me about. Because I called Bill because I like Bill, and Bill, he works by himself, so I like to give him some business, and I'm giving y'all business. So I called him, and he ain't called me back, so I may have to.
You know, Bill's had some health trouble. He doesn't. I haven't seen him in a long time.
He's one of these people that got diagnosed with diabetes, and in 3 months he's lost like 115 pounds. I don't know, but he looks awesome.
You know, Bill's like 80 or something, close to it.
He applied for a job with my dad
Oh, really?
when my dad went into business in 1966.
Really? I like Bill.
S. What is S? Standard deviation, Hubert. That's right, class. Good job. Standard deviation.
Yeah, I can't believe they're still trying to do it.
I'll put them in order first. Are they in order? I don't think they are. How many we got? 8. Now I'm not doing the other stuff because it's only asking for the standard deviation. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract and try to find the standard deviation as quick as I can. Huh? Divided by 7? 7. And S is equal to that number raised to the 0.5 power. I don't know how long that took, but it's 451.82. Let me check. I'll put it in. 451.82. Oh, the range. They did ask for it. I didn't know they'd ask for the range. I only saw that S. So somebody tell me what the range is. I'm sorry, 1090? And the S, I don't think I got it now. 40 what? Is that right? Oh, it's to 1?
And you know, I constantly mix that up just to get you.
Yeah. What does gradebook do? All right, try this one. It says a manufacturer of bolts has a quality control policy that requires it to destroy any bolts that are more than 4 standard deviations from the mean. So you're going to have to draw a picture. 4 standard deviations. One, two, three, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 12 centimeters. So that'd be 12.1, 12.2, 12.3, 12.4, 11.9, 11.8, 11.7, and 11.6. We know that this is 34, 34, 13.5, 2.35, and 0.15. Same thing over here, 13.5, 2.35, and 0.15. Now it says, manufacturer of bolts has a quality control policy that requires for it to destroy any bolts that are more, so out here, which that's going to pretty much be 0. Because this is 99, isn't this, let's see, add that up to 68. I think this is 99.7, is it not? Somebody check the picture of the I don't know if it's 99.7 or 100, I don't know.
It's total.
Oh, it is?
After
Okay.
2.7.
Okay, well then, that means it's going to be 0. The quality control engineer knows that the bolt's coming off the line, blah, 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 blah. For what lengths will a bolt be destroyed? Above or below 11.6, and above what? So that's what you need to do. So whichever one that is. A bolt will be destroyed if the length is less than 11.6 and greater than what? 12.4. So they're not asking for a percentage. Why not? Because there is no percentage, because you've already got 100%. So 11.6 and 12.4. Next. All right, do this one. They're asking for the mean, median, and mode. Bye-bye. So she got upset and left. So that means all y'all gonna fail. Yep. Mean. What? Okay. Well, y'all can erase them if you want to. Median. That's what I used to do. Mode. I wouldn't think there's a mode because it's decimals. Very, very hard to have a mode with decimals. Unless you're talking about tolerances of bolts. I don't see a mode, do y'all? Median is going to be equal to these two numbers. So equal to parentheses, this divided by 2. Okay, again, what do y'all notice I'm doing when am I making this pretty or am I just doing it?
Just doing it.
Doing it, and that's what you need to be doing.
It's got to be. Yes, okay.
Divide by how many numbers? 6?
Yes.
And there's your numbers. 41, 41, and 8 in there.
This is killing me.
It might be. Hold on. There we go. What does it say round to? Near cent.
Where I want to comment too from the other one,
Mm-hmm.
we talked in class about how the variances for original places, in my experience, not big ones.
Okay.
Especially in the questions where we have to round it all. Like that one question I seen earlier, that I told you I had to do 4 times. If people are one.
On the test, I'm very lenient on that. Homework, y'all can just do it over until y'all figure out what they want.
Mm-hmm.
But On the test, all you gotta do is come to me, and I'll, before or after class, and I'll change it. Okay, I'll change the grade.
Well, a lot of that they tell you to carry out.
Now, if you have 41.57 and the answer is 41.23, I can't help you. But if you get 41.6 and they say 41.57 and there is vagueness, openness in the directions, but if the directions say round to the nearest tenth and you don't do that, then I can't give you credit. But if there's vagueness, openness to the directions, or if they're wrong, because that problem you showed me, I think they were incorrect. Okay? Because the direction said round to the nearest tenth, she did, and she got them all wrong. And they said that the answer was to the hundredth. So I think they made a mistake there. What did it say? To the nearest what? So 41.4 and 40.8.
The nearest cent. So it'd be,
Oh, 41 cent, both. Okay. Okay, I was thinking of dollars. I'm sorry. Let's see. 41 and 41.
I tell you what, 41.48.
40, and what was the other one?
41.77.
40.77.
We'll do this together.
There is no mode. I think they ought to put an ain't in there, don't y'all? There ain't no mode. Next. If you take several forms of a test in Hubert's class, how is it counted? I will take that as an answer.
That's been my experience.
Okay. Have you noticed anything about these questions? There's only one what? There's only one answer.
So they're very difficult.
Yeah, very difficult. When is the last day of class for this semester?
D.
I spelled it wrong. How about this one?
Yeah.
I had a student come up to me. I got a story on this one.
Oh,
Student came up to me and said, "I'm offended." I said, "Why are you offended?" "Well, the question you had September 11th on it, and my cousin's brother, sister's uncle's niece's daughter was killed and blah, blah, blah." I said, "Well, there were people killed on December the 7th, 1941. What was that? That's what she said. I said, if you don't know what December 7th, 1941 is, then you don't need to say anything about September the 11th. Anyway.
So you're not going to take it in my right.
United States of pansies. All right. Take this one. We need to hurry because I need to get through. We got 3 more to go. All right. 5-number summary. Go. I'll go ahead and put it on the spreadsheet so you can look at it and put it in order for you. You're welcome. Data. Sort. There you go. And let me get it bigger for the online students. There you go. And that's a 68 at the bottom. Men, first, second, third, max. I'll do the min and the max for y'all. The things I do for y'all. I know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yay! Why did I say yay? Because I just have to find the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there's the middle, right? There's 15, 7, so there's the middle. Mark that. Now, there is that number. How many are above? 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there is your second quartile. Notice I made this question very simple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Draw your number line. You need the mid-range. So go ahead and calculate the mid-range. I'll put it, well, let's see, equals min. Mid-range is equal to parentheses, the highest plus the lowest divided by 2. And I'm going to highlight that different color so you'll know what that is for your notes. That's the mid-range. 1, 2, 3, and then equals the max. So I'm going to take my handy dandy virtual marker and I'm going to draw my number line because I need my number line to draw the graph. Now, 43 plus, I'm going to say 56. I'm not going to do that in my head. 43, that's 90 what? 99, right? Half of 99 is what? 44.5, so I'm going to add 44 to this. That gives me what? Oh, I got it. Yeah, wait a minute. No, I messed up. Half of 44.5 is what? 22 point, yeah. And that would be added to this, which would be, okay, I've done messed it up totally. Okay, I'm doing two different things. I'll just be quiet. 99 divided by 2 is 44 point what? Thank you. Okay, 49.5. Somebody gave me the wrong number. What's up? All right. 56 plus 68 is 124. 62 or 124, right? 56 plus 68. That's what I said.
Yeah.
Is okay. All right, and then that you can do this in your head. That's the difference between 62 and 68 is 3, so that'd be 65. 56, that'd be 3, so that'd be 59. 3 here, that's 50, so that'd be 53. And 3 here, 43 to whatever is 6, half of 3. Something's wrong. This should be 50. This should be 50. 43 to 50 is 6. 6, half of 6 is what? 3, so that'd be 46. All right, so now you got your number line done. You can have decimals. You can have whole numbers. It's not going to stop the world from rotating if you have one a little bit off. All right, first, 48. 48 is right in here. Your 62 is right here. And the median is 56. So is this a normal distribution?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's how you do your 5-number summary. So we go back to our handy dandy virtual test. And what's my 5-number summary? Somebody give it to me. 43. Tab. 48. 56. 62. 68. And which one does it look like? Well, you're going to have to probably blow it up. You know it's not this one.
Right.
And it possibly could be either one of these, so you're going to have to look closely at it. We know that our 56 is going to line up with our 56 right here. So that's not right, because that's 60-something. I would say it's the C. And I would say it's roughly symmetric. Next, got 2 or 3 more questions. Good. When is the week of finals?
Oh, that
I have to go to the
day.
bathroom.
I'm offended. Determine whether qualitative variable is discrete or continuous. The number of goals, do you count it or do you measure it? Count it. Which one's counting? Good job. Why does Hubert not entertain extra points or anything at the end of the semester? Because he's mean. Because he wants me to fail and live in a ditch. I will take C. But the answer is D. And you finish. Where is the submit button? Oh, there it is, right here. Oh no!
It was 32%.
What did I get wrong?
31.7.
What did I do wrong?
You didn't do anything wrong.
No, you're right. It's the 99.7. How does that work?
Wait a minute. What percentage of standardized test scores is less than 401? Oh, I went. It's asking for the 2 tails. It's asking for the 2 tails, less than 401. I thought they were doing together. So less than 401 would be that way, and greater than 629 would be that way. You would add them up together, so that'd be 16 and 16, which is 32. I didn't read the question right. It says or greater than 629. So go back to that question and look at your, it's the opposite directions.
Oh, I thought 31.7 was the right answer.
Well, they'll take either one. 32 or 31.7 is the right answer.
So
Is that the only one we missed?
Yes.
Then I made a 98.33. Now I'm going to have to go back and take that because I want 100.
Who has time for that?
Nobody.
I don't.
All right. Who's got questions?
So Sunday, 3:30.
Sunday at 3:30. Everybody show up here to take the test.
When's the homework date?
The next January the 4th. Y'all have a good day. Where's my? I'm gonna give everybody a. I can't even find my Skype people. Where are they at? Y'all good? She's good. Miss Smith, you good?
Yeah.
All right. Y'all have a good weekend. I'm gonna shut her off. Okay.